YouTube, what's good, family? You already know Page and Plays podcast here. Going to give you the AFC East, my predictions for the whole thing. If you haven't already, please check out the last one, the AFC West. And of course, the whole NFC conference is already done. Check those past videos out as well. Like, comment, and hit all of those up. Let's get right into it. We got the New England Patriots. We're going to start from the bottom, go up. The New England Patriots is at 4.5. That's the win prop. Plus 2,400. So 2,400 to win the AFC East. Yeah, the biggest long shot that I want to say between both conferences. This is definitely the biggest long shot. And here's my thought about New England. It's just a new everything. It's really, I think everyone said it was a new era when Brady left, but it's really a new era now that Belichick is no longer there too, running the show. You got Gerard Mayo, former, Jesus, I'm getting old, bro. When I can remember the college football, NFL. The guy was a stud ass linebacker. I will say that. He was for New England. Listen, it's just a new time and it's all understandable. So it's gonna be some growing aches and pains. The lowest total, I'm looking at the lowest total in the whole league as well. And on top of that, I want everybody to know every game this year they will be the underdog. So they're gonna at least win at least one game where they're going to be the underdog. It's just which one, right? So 4.5. Jeez. I go under. I'll say 4. 3 and 4 will be like the ideally for a first year. It's just this roster is probably the worst roster in the league. When you look at the receiver core, what do they really have? Juju, what one leg, one knee, whatever. I mean, but they still got Armand Stevenson. I mean, I just want to find out who do they have on offense, bro, that's going to contribute. The defense, you still got Jabril Peppers, which I will say as of lately, he's been playing like an all-pro safety, but look at the teams he's been on, the Giants, and I mean, that's probably your best hope. Christian Gonzalez coming back. He was productive until he got injured. So I guess your secondary is probably your best strength. And you got Matthew Judon. So you at least got one player of each in each level in the defensive side. And we know Mayo being a defensive guy, that will work out. It's just that the offense is just going to be completely new. Drake May, I don't even think Drake May will start. So you almost have to wonder if Jacoby Brissett's going to be the starter for a minute. You have to think that they at least cover some of these crazy spreads, right? Because I know Jacoby Brissett, he may not win every game, but he can at least be competitive. We know that. And if he's going to be the starter for the moment, we can take advantage of that if they're like plus 14-point underdogs. I think we can find advantage to that to a degree. Uh, and then eventually when they call for Drake May will be called up. I don't think he got called up until by maybe a week. I'm gonna say this because we know it's gonna be a bad year. I'll say about maybe week 9, 10, they might decide to start him full time. And I know a lot of people say he's bound to be a bust. I don't think that though. I think if you ask me, the closest person to possibly being a bust would be Bo Nix in this draft class. I mean, but I have to give him the Pats to respect. They're kind of letting him sit back and they're not rushing him in. And I know a lot of people don't like doing that, but sometimes that works in your advantage, right? Hits. Look why Patrick Mahomes is what he is. He sat back for a year, didn't do anything, but was on a clipboard learning. And then next year, I mean, look where he's been ever since. So, I can understand why the impatient, especially when you're dealing with Boston fans, right? Listen, if the Celtics win, then I think they'll be okay. But as far as this one, though, I'm going to lean under the 4.5. Next team, the New York Jets. The New York Jets. Jets. 9.5 is the win prop. Plus 210 to win the division. I mean, It realistically it'd be Jets, Bills, Dolphins. Those would be the three teams that that's in that range of winning something. I'm gonna go under the 9.5 though. I just right now I don't know because we are into like mandatory training camp. You're hearing how Aaron Rodgers is not there. Hassan Reddick isn't there. It's a couple players that just holding out, just to hold out, right? I'm kind of confused on that. And I just don't really know what this team is going to be because they poured in so much for Aaron Rodgers last season, and he only lasted 3 plays. They did go and get some offensive line help. They gave him some more players. You got Mike Williams, but then Mike Williams is always injury prone too. So I mean, we know the strength of this team is the defense. So the defense would definitely still be top. Listen, I'm expecting this defense to be number one. I think that'd be my bold prediction for this team. At least number one defense, top three defense still. I mean, I think they make the playoffs. Let's just say that. That's a bold prediction wrong. I think they make the playoffs with all of the situations with the division and with that defense. As long as Aaron Rodgers plays every game, they're going to be competitive just off the offensive side and the defensive side, right? So I think that's just really the question is the offense because we haven't seen much because we only saw 3 plays with Aaron Rodgers. Next team, Miami Dolphins. You got them at 9.5 prop plus 185 to win the division. I lean over. I think 10-7 can be realistic. I think the floor will be probably 8-9. The one thing that I've seen so far with him is Tua. Like, bro, have y'all seen how Tua looks? Like, bro, bro, he looked like a little ass kid, bro. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, he lost a lot of that weight, and you have to kind of figure how would that work, right? Because hear me out, last season, even though the year before when he had all those concussions, last season he played every game. Every game, he was as healthy as he was. He was a little stockier, but I mean that helped. And now you kind of wonder what would be that mindset. I don't. Is he trying to get faster? Is he trying to be a dual threat quarterback? Possibly. We know the offense is going to be. Listen, the offense is going to be electric. We know that. However, the defensive side is where I have my concerns. You lose Christian Wilkes. That is a big blow. You got Chop Robinson, you got from the draft, but still a rookie trying to learn his way to get in when you already had a guy like Wilkes that came. This is really the defense, bro, because the defense got torched, and Tua's looking for this big contract, but the one challenge that I have in Tua is can you win big games in a regular season when it matters? Because we've seen it when you play against the Bills when it matters, you lose. You play at Baltimore, you lose. You play in the playoff game, you lose. It's a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of big time games last season that were big and they were on TV, national TV. You lose to the Titans and you were 14-point favorites. Like, it's just things like that to me that, the defense is like really my concern because they got rid of Vic Fangio. So we're really going to see how this defense will turn out to be. The biggest strength will obviously be their secondary, right? With Javon Holland and you still got Jalen Ramsey, who was productive when he came back. You do, however, lose Xavier Howard, so you got to kind of fill that hole for that corner spot. And I think they still got Byron Jones, or they just is he even playing anymore, or they just paying him to pay him? Because I haven't seen him play in about 2 years. I feel like. I mean, Buddy got a bag from Miami and just has not played. That's just how I looked at it. But I mean, can they make the playoffs? Yes, but it's all about winning these big games. These big key matchup games they have this year, we will really see because the offense we know can run it up. And I almost think they will be a good over team because their offense can score and their defense is mid. So I almost feel like this is a team you can't lead on towards the over a lot of times. And lastly, for the division, we have the Buffalo Bills, 10.5 the prop, plus 160 to win the division. I got to go on over. Well, I will lean over, but there's still questions though. So it's either between 11-6, and I think the floor is about 9-8. So anywhere from 9 to 11 wins, I can see that happening. It's just with the Bills, I think this is a lot of question marks. It's a lot of question marks. You got a brand new receiver core now. You got a whole new receiver core. I almost think the mindset for the Bills this season will be run the ball a lot more. I almost feel like that's what it's going to be because I like the Keon Coleman pickup. When they got Mac Hollins, Chris Samuels, they're drafting another receiver or two. But I mean, it's a whole new team, man, almost to the offense and the defense. I mean, what it's a whole new secondary coming in too. I mean, I have concerns with this team. I think McDermott is going to figure it out because he has no choice to figure it out. And the thing about them is they have the best quarterback in the division with Josh Allen. And I think he makes so much plays that, I mean, we've seen it where he throws 4 picks in the game and they're still only a field goal away from winning the game, because he can use his legs. So I think will be more of a run first team, a little bit of play action fake, hit it down the middle. That is my mindset with this team. Bold prediction. Make the Super Bowl. I mean, they're always conference championship, conference semis, whatever. Can you get to the Super Bowl? Everyone talked about the Bills for the last few years, the Buffalo Bills. What was it? Was it 2022, 2023 season, right? The Buffalo Bills. Everyone in the whole world was on Buffalo Bills to make the playoff. I mean, not to make the playoffs, but they talk about winning the Super Bowl. And they got blew out by Cincinnati, right? They had an opportunity to win last year and it went right. So they're contenders for sure. And you can't sleep on Buffalo. That's the thing, because as bad as they were towards the middle of the year last year, that second part of the half of the season, they just stepped up. And that's why when we look at Miami, that's really the question. When we look at Miami, when we look at the Jets, can those teams in the second part of the season be up there? Because it's different. It's okay when you're up there in the first half, but the second half of the season is the hardest part of the season. So I think that's the biggest question mark. But I think the Bills can overcome it. If you ask me how would the division set up, hmm, I think Jets at plus 210 is good value, right? If just looking at it. Um, But however, I do think Jets make playoffs though. I think they make the playoffs over Miami. So I would say Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots. That wraps us up for the AFC East. Comment who you think has a chance, or comment what you think about the teams, right, that we talked about. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. You already know, family. Be smooth out here.